This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at AWS.com/learn more.
Hey guys, this is my leak. This is the podcast. And today I want to have a little bit of a party for you, for me. This podcast is about self-celebration and why it matters. So I'm not sure where I learned this. In many ways, it feels like I was born with this knowing or understanding that I was all I had when it came to sort of being my biggest cheerleader. That's not to say that I didn't have wonderful people who cared for and supported me. I have been very fortunate in that regard, but I have always known that I had to be my own cheerleader, the one who I could always count on. Something else I learned early on is that everyone doesn't know how important some things are to you. And sometimes even if these things seem obvious, everything is not obvious, but more importantly, everyone won't know how to celebrate you. And so if we get wrapped up in who's doing what or not doing anything, we might miss the opportunity to celebrate ourselves. Somewhere in our culture, we began to connect self-celebration with maybe self-indulgence, but dare I say, it is self-awareness, it is self-love. And so let's take a moment to acknowledge who you are and what you've done. I want you to do me a favor right now. I want you to get as still and as comfortable as you can. If you are on a walk or you're at the gym, I see when you guys tag me on social, y'all be moving. Or if you're in the car, that's okay. But I want for you to tune in as closely to me as you can. And I want you to take a deep breath in. Slowly let it go. Feel your body soften as you settle into this moment, because this moment is for you, for all that you have done, for all that you have carried, and for all that you have become. You are here, and that is worth celebrating. With each inhale, invite in the recognition of your effort. And with each exhale, release the need to be anything other than what you are right now. Now I want to invite you to turn your gaze inward to the place within you that so often goes unnoticed. The part of you that tries, that cares, that keeps going even when it's hard. I want you to take a moment to honor that part of you. Let's settle into that as we begin talking about self-celebration. Sometimes it just feels good for us to take a moment and to find our center, to recognize ourselves. So use that, slow down for a second when it's time to celebrate yourself. So I know that these podcasts, they really have no date and they can be timeless, but I want to acknowledge that as I'm recording this, we are at the end of the year. And I know the end of the year gets hectic and the world is changing. And maybe you don't know where life is heading for you, but I want you to know this: you are here, and that is worth celebrating. I want to ask you something. How often do you pause to truly celebrate yourself? Not just those big milestones, but the small, meaningful steps that you take every day. If you follow me for any time on social media, you've probably heard me saying, don't let people what's next you to death. And I also want to make sure that you are not the person what's nexting yourself in that way. This is the part where I start talking about staying present in mindfulness. I read a book this year that was all about mindfulness and meditation, titled Wherever You Go, There You Are. I hope I have that right, because I think it's wherever you go, there you are, or everywhere you go, there you are. But it's one of the two. The author is Jon Kabat-Zinn. And he says that the mindfulness practice means that we commit fully in each moment to be present, inviting ourselves to interface with this moment in full awareness with the intention to embody as best we can an orientation of calmness, mindfulness, and equanimity right here and right now. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it plainly. Mindfulness means fully committing to the present moment, bringing your full attention to it with a calm and balanced mindset. And so I don't want to go all woo-woo because I want to turn this corner real quick and say, staying present. Mindfulness is also about accepting change. Life is fleeting, and everything we hold on to, relationships, possessions, achievements, those things will eventually pass. And this isn't meant to induce fear, but to inspire some clarity about what is meaningful. Parts of your life are changing. What do you need to accept? And you're probably like, Malik, where are you going? And what does this have to do with self-celebration? But I was thinking about self-celebration and mindfulness and presence and how to celebrate being here right now, this moment, being mindful, accepting that perhaps at the end of this year, change just feels loud. I don't know. It feels like the volume on change is loud. And so I'm doing my best to flow. I'm thinking about what things are changing for me that I can flow with and to be mindful, to accept. My body is aging. You know, I was out of town a few weeks ago and I just noticed a part of my arm getting soft in the mirror. And no one but me would notice this, but I know myself so well. And I was just like, wow, I really used to be young. And so I'm flowing and I'm accepting and mindfulness and celebrating myself right here and right now. I am living on this earth with my mother no longer in it. I say to myself, this relationship hasn't ended. It has evolved. I am accepting. I am staying present. Staying present is accepting change. And so I think about the ways that I have also expanded in how I make a living. I heard Martha Beck say something yesterday that resonated as someone who has only had maybe 1 or 2 full-time jobs after graduating college. And after that, I have kind of created all of my own work. She said, money doesn't come from jobs. It comes from the abundance of nature. Now, there's a point in time where I probably would have rolled my eyes at that. But what I took it to mean is that it comes from throwing your full self into who you are and what you do naturally. And so these are just some ideas that I'm having as we get into this self-celebration framework that I have for you. So our self-celebration framework is going to be acknowledge, appreciate, and amplify. So acknowledge. What's something you've done, big or small, that you need to acknowledge? Write your win down for me. I will wait. After you've acknowledged, I want you to appreciate. Take a moment to reflect on the effort or maybe even the growth it took to reach this win. Okay? After that, one of my favorites is that if I could highlight a word through a podcast, it would be amplify. And I know that this is where it might get hard for some of us, but I want you to lift this win up. Lift this win up in a way that feels authentic to you. Maybe it is a social post. Maybe it is a journal entry. Maybe it is telling a family member or a friend, but somewhere that you have a trusted community that you can share this win. In my online community, my Leak and Mamas, every Friday, I do a call for wins. And so we take our wins big or small. It is always the most engaged post because I believe self-celebration is contagious. So maybe you have a group of friends that you guys do a Friday wins text chain where everyone begins to celebrate themselves, because I think that when you celebrate yourself, you invite others to that magic of celebration. And so celebrating yourself is about honoring your efforts, and it's about knowing that you are enough as you are. Because when you can honor your own worth, it becomes natural to you to honor others. And so I know that I've seen some conversation online. My friends don't support me, or they don't celebrate me, or they don't see me or the things that I do. And I'm just wondering, if they aren't able to celebrate themselves, it's probably going to be harder for them to celebrate you. And so I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but let's find a way to start acknowledging, appreciating, and amplifying our wins. And there was a time when I wasn't really always able to share some of the larger wins. There was a part of me that felt like, oh, this is excessive, or this is indulgent, or I don't want people to think certain things about me. But as I lean deeper into the truth of who I am, I have come to understand that my success is most meaningful when it is shared. My success is most meaningful when I share it. And my work is and always has been driven by the belief that success is most potent when it is shared and it helps others. And so that is a commitment that I have had across the course of my career. So why would I not amplify this? Because that is worth celebrating. So I want you to do me a favor this week. I want you to share your wins and self-celebrations with me on social. Tag me. And if you aren't on social, write them down or consider altering my idea and maybe journal your weekly wins. You've come further than you give yourself credit for. So take a moment and breathe that in and celebrate yourself. All right, y'all. This is where we come to the end. I want you to share your wins with me or send your questions to hey@mytaughtyou.com. I love hearing from you. If you are looking for a space to connect, learn, and grow, join my online community, My League at Mamas, not just for mamas, but full of that big mama energy, supportive, uplifting, and real. Do not forget to visit my website. I got all my past podcast episodes there. And stay tuned. There's a brand new site launching soon at myleak.com. Thank you all for listening. And until next time, don't forget to celebrate yourself. You are worth it.